So, in a recent Japanese-only interview done between the Hoyoverse teams for Honkai Star Rail and Honkai Impact Third, they basically confirmed that Honkai Star Rail and Honkai Impact Third are just the same universe. This is very obvious when you look at the recent patches in Honkai Impact Third, where Sparkle is pretty much just a canonical part of the world now, as is the Aha faction, the Masked Fools, I believe. And I think the Masked Fools has also recruited another character in the Honkai Impact Third universe called Vita, who is part of Part 2 of Honkai Impact Third. So now it's pretty much 100% confirmed, if it wasn't already clear enough by Weltby and Honkai Star Rail, that the two universes are not really two universes, they're really just one universe. And in the interview, they also said a whole bunch of other stuff. I believe they also talked about having a Kiana variant in Honkai Star Rail, and the fact that they're trying to work on a combined universe story for both of the two games, essentially. And in the future, they want to take Honkai Impact Third into like beyond the solar system. Before, it was mostly just stuck inside the solar system, which is basically just Earth or their variant of Earth, and now they just want to go somewhere else. They want to go across the entire universe. And I feel like when I was playing Honkai Impact Third Part 2, that was kind of obvious because they were doing this whole, like, it just felt like a lot more like universal, if that makes any sense, in the most like technical aspect of that term, as in they want to go across the entire universe. It felt like a lot bigger than just Earth. And I believe that for the part of Honkai Impact Third Part 1 that I played up to like Chapter 9, that was basically how it felt. And even in like the very ending of Honkai Impact Third Part 1, I believe, from what I saw on YouTube, it was mostly stuck on the, like, Kiana was stuck on the moon, right? So I believe that even if they did go across like out of Earth, it was mostly just to like the same system, essentially. So I don't know how to feel about that. Actually, I do know how I feel about that on like a gut basis level. I really like it. I like the idea of a shared universe because, to be frank, I think Honkai Star Rail right now is a bit dry, in my opinion. Penacony was like an 80-20, I like it versus I don't like it. And a lot of that doesn't really have anything to do with the lore or the storytelling. It's just that the theme didn't really hit me that much. There were a few things that like crossed me the wrong way. I didn't like how much yapping there was, but for the most part, I did like it. I think there has been a bit of more backlash to that recently with Ryukyu Sensei's story, and I also made my own his video on the story, and I also made my own video a long time ago about the things that I didn't like. But to be sure, I definitely am not as drastic, in my opinion, as Ryukyu Sensei. I definitely liked it more than I didn't like it, and the things that I don't like it, I feel like if they added more Honkai Impact Third elements to the story, I would actually like Honkai Star Rail more. I like the designs of the characters more. I like just basically the theme of Honkai Impact Third a bit more. I like the action combat more, although I don't think they can actually do anything about that in Honkai Star Rail. I'm just taking a picture of my table because I just got home, and I don't think I could have just like walked around and while talking about my interest in Honkai Star and Honkai Impact Third while it's like 7 p.m. at night and it's pretty dark, so not exactly the safest place to walk around and talk about this kind of stuff, so I have to go home to do it. And if I sound out of breath, that's because I've been walking for like, I don't know, 10 to 20 minutes to get home. Anyways, this is Bench Gamer signing out. I'll see you guys later. And yeah, I've seen some people on Reddit freaking out about how the like two universes are going to put in a whole bunch of stuff that you can't understand. And I can see a bit of that fear because they did do a little bit of that in Penacony, but I don't think they did nearly enough for me to give a shit about it. Like, even as somebody who only played like a very small portion of Honkai Impact Third, but has like just absorbed a lot of the lore through osmosis on YouTube, it definitely was not enough to make me feel like, oh, I was missing out on anything. The fact that Raiden Mei, or Raiden Bosun Mori Mei, whatever her name is, said that that was her name and that was supposed to be like a big moment was pretty much foreshadowed throughout the entirety of Penacony, and how her saying her name actually meant something because she was part of the Nihility, and the fact that she remembered her name at all was pretty important. So the fact that you don't know that Raiden Bosun Mori Mei was supposed to be like a reference to something else is not the biggest deal of all time. It had meaning and impact, simply like even if you didn't understand what the background of that name was. So I don't really mind it. I'm pretty sure they know what they're doing. Or they could just stick, I don't know, Kiana, like the entire Earth of Honkai Impact Third into the Honkai Star Rail, and we just visit it outright. And then, I don't know, the main character dies and we play as Kiana instead. They could always do that. But I'm sure they won't. But if they do, that would be really interesting as well. Anyways, this is Bench Gamer signing out. I'll see you guys later. Bye.